Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be trying needle punching. Now this is actually a art form that I discovered over on TikTok, and it's a pretty cool art form. Basically you use this little needle thing to punch yarn into a fabric, and you basically end up with this fuzzy sort of rug-like texture which you can, make shapes and basically art with. And I just wanted to say our version of needle punching actually began in the late 1880s, evolving from a more traditional rug hooking technique to become the art form that we know today, which is really cool. So this kit that I'm actually using today is actually from Kmart. It was pretty inexpensive. I just saw it at Kmart a little while ago and I was like, hey, that's that thing that I've seen. So I bought 2 of them, and yeah, that's what we're doing today. So this kit comes with the punch needle, obviously, as well as a little threader. It also comes with a embroidery hoop and the fabric that you're actually going to use it on. And there's actually a little design printed on the fabric as well. Overall, the quality of the kit is not amazing actually. One of the hoops had a little bit of a crack in it. However, that wasn't really an issue, especially since it's quite small and I'm only using it once. But you do get what you pay for, and this thing was only like a few dollars anyways. So how it actually works is you use the threader to thread the yarn through this little hook here, and there's a little hole in the hook as well, and you got to make sure that you put it through that, and then basically you just stab the piece of fabric and it will like put the yarn into the fabric and have a little loop hanging out the back. Now when I first started this, I didn't understand completely how this worked. I wasn't sure which side was the, final side of the piece, and I got a little bit frustrated as well because I couldn't get this part here to, lay flat. And then I realized the design printed on this isn't the best, especially since it's words, but with this sort of technique you actually have to draw on the shape backwards, because it's actually the underside that is the main result of this artwork. So the words were actually printed the right way, and they ended up backwards, and as you can see the words, you can't really read them that well because of the nature of how fuzzy it was, especially since it didn't include any yarn for the background so that you could, have the words pushed together and be more readable. So after I realized that, I decided, what, I'm not going to do the designs that were, made with this kit. I'm just going to go with my own designs, and I bought some yarn here to do my own colors, and yeah, that's basically what we're doing. So I took out a Sharpie and drew a design here, as you can see, and I'm starting with the outlines, which is black, and we are making a Pokeball. I actually thought it was a neat idea because this thing is circle, so I would have easily been able to get a nice round circle for the Pokeball, and you only need a few colors, black, red, and white to make a Pokeball, so I thought it was perfect. And after my few practice runs, I actually had a look at a few videos online just to see exactly how you're supposed to do this, and when I started on the Pokeball, it ended up much better, and I felt like I knew a little bit more about what I was actually doing. And I have to say, the whole technique is actually quite fun and very quick, especially compared to something else like cross stitch, where you have to do a few stitches for a square and turn it over and look at it and stuff. This, you basically just stab it a bunch of times, and the yarn sort of just flows through the needle and just goes into the fabric really, really easy. And it was just super fun just to stab it, and the needle just I don't know, it felt automatic. It was so weird, but I really liked it and I had a lot of fun. So now we have that outline done, and it does kind of look funny on the back because of all the yarn sort of spreading out. But I had an idea basically is that once you fill in all of the red and white of the Pokeball, it was going to push on it, and it was hopefully going to make everything a little bit more crisp, which I feel like the original design was lacking. So I guess that kit from Kmart is a little bit flawed, so if you're gonna get that one from Kmart, just keep that in mind and You know, maybe get some other yarn as well if you want to have that design like work properly. And also the words have to be backwards, so just think about that. So now we're moving on to the white, and it's the last part of this design, and I basically just filled in all of the white at the bottom, and it was quite satisfying to see my creation come together and cover up all of that other design on the fabric. So basically all you could see was a Pokeball. And I was actually right with what I said earlier. Once you fill in all of the colors, it pushes it all together and looks very, very cool. Look at that, it's a Pokeball. I love how fuzzy and plush it looks too. It just looks so cute. Next, it's time to secure it. Now I have some fabric glue here. This didn't come with the kit, which is another reason why the kit isn't perfect, because you actually have to glue the underside to make sure all of the pieces stay together, unless you're just, you know, planning on keeping it in the embroidery hoop as a wall hanging. But I wanted to cut mine out and have it like an actual shape. So glue the back, let it dry, and then I moved on to my next design. As you can see here, it is a Pikachu. I kept the design for Pikachu basically just chubby and small, and I kept the ears nice and short and fat so it would fill this space better in this circle. And I have to say, it is just so adorable with the round little face and the chubby little short ears and the little smile. I just love it. I just really like that design of Pikachu. I just think it looks so cute. So I used the same colors as the last one with the addition of a yellow yarn. Now the yellow isn't perfect. It's a little bit darker than you know, Pikachu's normal design, but I'm gonna say is that it is fine anyways. It looks good, and a shiny Pikachu is actually a little bit darker than regular Pikachu, so it kind of works out. Maybe this guy's a little shiny. Next up is his little red cheeks here, which were quite simple, but I just wanted to make sure that the yarn didn't mix in with the yellow. As you can see, it does a little bit, but it's not too hard to sort and fix. And then after this, I had to carefully go in and add in the details like his little tiny nose here and also his mouth. And I was very careful with the angle of the needle going in because I wanted to make sure that the lines were nice and straight. After this, I went in with the eyes, and I left a little part here, as you can see, because I'm going to go in with some white for the whites of his eyes. Now it doesn't look perfect, but we're just going to go in later with a little bit of cleanup, so don't worry if it looks a little bit messy and ugly. But yeah, we're going to glue this side here down now and leave it to dry with the other one in the window. And I made sure they were mostly dry when I went in and took them out of the embroidery hoops. Now I guess this part is optional. If you just want to keep it in the embroidery hoops as like a wall display hanging thing, I guess you can. But I wanted to see how fluffy and rug-like these were and sort of finish them up so that they were like this little fluffy piece of art. So I carefully took them out of the hoops. Now they did stick a little bit, but I was just careful in peeling that off the wood, and then I went in with my scissors. I cut around so that there was no like hanging piece of fabric on the back, and then I went in with my scissors and just trimmed up the front so that it was nice and even as I could get it anyways. And make sure that all those little loops in the yarn were cut so that they were like just fluffy bits of yarn instead of loops, if that makes sense. And then I did a little bit of a hem of just yarn around the outside to hide that spare bit of backing fabric. And here is the final result of the Pokeball, and honestly I love this thing so much. It looks like a miniature rug. Like if I made this much bigger on a larger piece of fabric, this would be like a really nice little carpet thing that I could like put on my floor. I just think that is so cool, honestly, and it's like this little art piece that I made that's fuzzy. I love it. So now we have to do basically the same thing with the Pikachu, and I was very particular with cleaning up the fabric on this one as well, just to make sure that the face looked nice and neat. And I also trimmed around the outside so that the edges looked nice and crisp. And here is the final result of the Pikachu, and I love this thing so much because it's like a fuzzy Pikachu. Look at it, it's just so cute. I really enjoyed doing the needle punch art. I felt like it was just super fun, and if you guys want to try it out, please let me know in the comments below and what you've made if you do this kind of thing. I love talking about it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment below what you think of these little art thingies, and hit that like and subscribe button as well too, because it really helps me out. I hope you're all having a lovely day. Please stay safe out there, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye everyone.